Hi there, I'm Dr. James Russler, and I'm here to talk about Dishonored. Dishonored is a program designed to help sufferers of insomnia achieve a stable sleeping regimen. The most revolutionary part of this program being that all applicants receive a healthy night's sleep the very night that they apply, 100% of the time. Applicants need only make one payment, and our agent will assist you in taking naps and sleeping for the night at pre-designated times prescribed by our sleep experts. Our tried and tested methods have resulted in our clients enjoying some of the deepest and most relaxing sleeps they've ever experienced. There's no reason to prepare yourself or to make any arrangements, as our agent can accommodate you whether you're lounging at home, out and about,
Wait, I'm working, it's okay. I'm working, just... I'm so close. I'm so close.
or even on the go.
When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. Girl, you're amazing, amazing, just the way you are.
So if you're having trouble with over-the-counter sleeping pills, try the Dishonored program. Remember, if you can't close your eyes, we'll do it for you. Hey boys and girls, welcome to another edition of New High Score. I'm one of your hosts, McBosspants.
My name is Justis.
And today we're... Okay, again.
I'm gonna keep that.
Hey boys and girls, welcome to another edition of New High Score. I'm one of your hosts, McBosspants.
My name is Justis.
And today we're going to be recording...
Can you let me?
Sorry. Hey boys and girls, welcome to another edition of New High Score. I'm one of your hosts, McBosspants.
And my name is Justis.
And today we're going to be reviewing Dishonored.
Can you let me say my fucking name? My name is Justis.
Get the fuck out of my video. No, off the fucking couch. I don't give a fucking shit if your fucking sound recorder.
I hate you.
Dishonored is the fucking business. For years, developers all around the world have seemed to have forgotten that having a linear game doesn't necessarily mean you need to restrict the player. If a room full of gun-wielding mercenaries stands between me and my goal, I should be able to decide how to take them out, or even if I want to take them out. The beauty of Dishonored is that you can choose. But before we get into that, let's talk about this game's totally bitchin' story. If I could sum up Dishonored's story in one word, it would be effective. Just like the name Dishonored, everything about this game's story is refreshingly simple. In other words, it doesn't bullshit you around. I enjoy complicated, intertwining stories as much as the next guy. But I have to say, I do have a soft spot for games that tell you everything you need to know just with character interactions and visuals, not with fucking 10 hours of exposition. Dishonored does all of this beautifully. Look at this. Look at this little girl. I love this little girl. You know why? Because she's a fucking nice guy. The game doesn't attempt to make you care about her because of some off-screen backstory. There's never a narrator that goes, Corvo cared about this girl. No! You grow to care about her all by yourself because she's fucking nice to you. She hugs you and kisses you on the cheek and draws pictures of how fucking awesome you are. That's fucking storytelling, buddy. Take some fucking notes, Killzone. Like the character exposition, the plot is pretty simple too. Again, this is a good thing. If I were to do a spoiler-filled review of Dishonored, the whole story would be like 6 bullet points. That's it. It doesn't take a huge amount of brain power. But that's a good thing because it makes the goals of the game a lot clearer and easier to remember when you come back to the game. Consequently, there's never a question as to why you should care about the main character or root for him because motivation is clear throughout. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for the game's villains, or bosses if you will. Most of them are predictable, you know, mustache-twirling, sniveling vipers who look like they're gonna pounce on you as soon as you meet them. So I guess I gotta dock some points off the game for that. Don't let that complaint turn you off though, because there are so many characters in this game that are just teeming with personality. It's never as simple as, go meet this guy and let him give you this thing. No. It always ends up being crazier, like, go meet this old lady and then it turns out the old lady is a hoarding senile witch. Or go meet this artist and it turns out the artist is like this sadomasochistic hipster con man. In other words, Dishonored never settles for mediocrity, unlike some games. It always throws in that little extra special something that adds a little spice to the story. And the same thing can be said of the game's visuals. Now see, the game looks really good on PS3. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same thing about PC, but we'll get to that later. First, let me explain why every low-budget games company out there needs to learn from this game. Consistency is fucking paramount. Let's face it, people, Dishonored is not the prettiest looking game in the world. Sure, it's got a nice cartoony visual art style, the color palette is really nice, but you can clearly see that the texture resolution and the polygon count are uniformly low. But that's the thing. They're uniformly low, which means that it's consistent. See, when I first started playing this game, I was immersed. I was looking up at this big, beautiful tower in front of me and I was going, wow, that's a nice looking tower, not, wow, that's an awful lot of polygons. That's because there wasn't any frame dropping or texture loading or staircasing to distract me from the environment art. Every character felt like a part of the same universe because there wasn't some asshole made of 2 million polygons next to some asshole made of 12. Who gives a flying shit how good your character looks, or how good your textures look, or how good your environment looks, if all of the shadows look like they've been cut out by a 6-year-old with preschool scissors? And textures pop in out of nowhere going, fucking hey, look how much better everything looks now that I'm here. Are you immersed yet? It's so much more effective to limit the amount of polygons and limit the texture resolution so that the player has a consistent experience, so that you're not taken out of it. Having said that, whoever was in charge of the PC port clearly did not get that message. Yes, there are higher res textures, and yes, it does run on a higher frame rate. But even on Justis's monster PC, which was developed by fucking NASA, there are some low res textures compared to the other ones. In other words, it's not consistent. Seriously, it's a terrible port. The PS3 version looks better, as in it visually looks better. At 30 frames per second on consoles, it looks better. I'm not exaggerating. That's weird. That's really weird. Speaking of power, let's get down to the bread and butter of Dishonored, the thing that sets it apart from the rest of the pack. The gameplay. The gameplay in this game is fucking amazing. It's a viscerally badass action game, it's a tactical stealth game, it's a head-scratching puzzler, and it's also a sort of mini RPG. All in one package. But here's the thing that makes me jizz in my pants. If any of those genres don't sound appealing to you, you can literally ignore them for the entire game. So let's go through them in the order that I said. First, how does this game stack up as an action game? Okay, so you know how when Oblivion first came out and all the people who didn't play Morrowind were like, first-person shooter without guns? What the fuck is that? Why would I buy that? Well, the thing is that they were kind of right in that in Oblivion, melee combat doesn't feel like melee combat. It feels like pressing a button until the thing in front of you dies. Well, Dishonored's first-person melee combat is the fucking tits, and it's all because of player feedback. And I'm not talking about going on to fucking websites and saying, oh, I hate Bioware, blah, blah, blah. No, this is the feedback that the game gives the player. When you swing your short sword in Dishonored, it's responsive. It does what you tell it to, when you tell it to. When you clash swords in Dishonored, there's a clear visual jolt, a violent vibration of the controller, and a loud ping that makes you go, shit, that motherfucker's sharp. It's a flawless combination of camera work, tactile feedback, and sound design that just makes for really sexy combat. But did I mention that you do get a gun in the game? And that when you shoot someone, it feels like you're firing a fucking cannon? Because it fucking does! The aim assist is also extremely finely tuned. It's not like a Rockstar game where it's either way too generous or really unhelpful. Oh, wait, what's that? You don't like aim assist? Well, you can turn it off. In fact, you can adjust it on a sliding scale of generosity. Yeah. The game has that. Speaking of which, if you're anything like me, then games like Rage make you fucking sick to your stomach. Because for some reason, the main character feels the need to fucking do the Stevie Wonder dance everywhere he fucking goes. He just tilts his head like this everywhere he fucking goes. Well, Dishonored has that too, but not only is it also more finely tuned, you can also adjust it on a sliding scale of head tiltiness, which is awesome. Speaking of the balance of the game, this is sort of where Dishonored falls down as an action game. On normal mode, 4 to 6 hits of anything takes you out. When I say takes you out, I mean drains your health to the point where you have to use a health potion, even if it's just a cheeky little fish nibbling a little bit on your testicles. Don't get me wrong. This is not a difficult game. It's just balanced as more of a stealth game. So even though you have 10 health potions that are ready to go at the press of a button just like in BioShock, using those health potions is kind of tedious in the heat of battle. Sort of like you're playing a conventional action game, but you have to keep reminding the game to regenerate your health for you. Still, the action mechanics are pretty badass. In fact, it makes all of the improvements that Bethesda made to Skyrim seem kinda lame. So how does it stack up as a stealth game? See, the problem is that Arcane Studios kept hyping Dishonored as a sort of Hitman game, probably capitalizing on Hitman Absolution's piss-poor marketing campaign. But like I said, the game is not that difficult. You can save the game anywhere, at any time, providing you're not in the process of being stabbed through the ass. And escaping your pursuers is pretty easy once you get the hang of teleporting. So if you're expecting Hitman with superpowers, you're gonna be sad in the pants. I actually like the difficulty level though, because it's not really like Hitman, it's more like Arkham City. Yeah, not BioShock, Arkham City. Like any good stealth game, Arkham City has a plethora of options, but these options are rarely used to deal with gameplay limitations. In other words, it's not about discovering a clever way to take out your target like it is in Hitman. It's about choosing one of many obvious options, i.e., the one that makes you feel like a total fucking badass. Dishonored does the same thing because that's essentially who Corvo is. Corvo is Dieselpunk Batman. Again, this is all about feedback. Stealth sections feel fucking awesome just because of the way that the environment and the world around you reacts to your skills. The game makes you feel like an unbelievable badass and that no one can do what you just did, even though there's only a minimal amount of challenge. Just like in Arkham City, you'll catch NPCs talking about you behind your back, like saying things like, "He just came out of the trees, man. He just came out of the trees." The marks you go after are also all really satisfyingly overconfident about their safety. And anytime you finish a mission without killing anyone, you'll get a special line of dialogue from an in-game character who just can't fucking believe that you did what you just did. But one thing that does carry over from the Hitman series is the latitude, the plethora of creative ways that you can dispatch or silence your potential targets. During my first playthrough, I was knocking guards out before chucking them over the side of a 20-story building or into a heap of man-eating rats. I was swapping a target's drink for a poisoned glass. I was making deals with creepy, rapacious noblemen to take care of my mark for me. I was even rigging a gentleman's duel by freezing time and shooting the pugnacious fucker right in the nose before he could even turn around. And like all great stealth games, a 100% kill-free playthrough is totally possible. Not only that, it's actually encouraged because of the game's multiple ending system, which is more dynamic than, let's say, Mass Effect or Grand Theft Auto. The game takes all of your killing into account, so the more you kill, the less happy your ending will be. Meaning that if you spare everyone, you'll get the happiest possible ending. This is where the puzzle-solving aspect comes in, and it is a cool aspect of the game. Dishonored can provide some excellent head-scratches, but only if you make a puzzle to solve yourself. For example, running low on sleep darts is common, right? You can either do away with your merciful ways, or you could think up a clever way to take everybody out using your spells and only the ability to choke. If you're running low on mana, you can go one further and just use expert timing to choke everybody in the room. But like I said, if you just want to go around shooting guys in the penis, knock yourself out.
Clear the line!
Lastly, Dishonored is part RPG, but like the rest of the genres on this list, you don't really have to play it like an RPG at all if you don't want to. See, Dishonored has two forms of currency, runes and actual currency. Runes are used to upgrade or buy new skills and powers, like possessing animals or using dark vision, which is sort of like detective vision. However, you have to actively seek out runes. They're like hidden items within each level. So you don't have to deal with that challenge if you don't want to make this an RPG. You can just tough it out with the most basic set of skills and ignore the whole runes thing altogether. Potentially, you could play the entire game without ever seeing the skill tree. You can use money to upgrade your equipment like an RPG, or you can use it to refill your ammo like an action game. You can also find bone charms, which are one-off buffs like faster mana regeneration or something like that. But again, you have to seek these things out. They're in-game items, so you don't have to deal with that, and they aren't really necessary. The game won't ever dump a bunch of skill points in your lap and say, oh, you have to assign all these before you progress like other RPGs. It's always up to you. And I think that's pretty cool. Though really, you'd have to be pretty sad not to want to explore some of these fucking awesome powers because they make you feel godly. Yes, the skill tree is pretty limited, even next to pseudo-RPGs like Borderlands 2. But you should really check out some of these skills because they're badass. Dishonored is one monster of a breath of fresh air in a gaming industry where the most popular games still play like fucking Call of Duty. And unlike a certain military shooter, which I won't name because I'm a nice guy, the game has an awful lot of player choice despite being linear. And it still manages to convey its goals and its narrative in a crystal clear, highly polished, stylish way. The story is interesting, immersive, easy to understand, and highly replayable. Dishonored is also a chameleon that can be as much of an action game, a stealth game, a puzzle game, or an RPG as you want it to be. It's not very challenging, but it does make you feel like fucking Chuck Norris in a robot skull mask. For comparison's sake, Dishonored made me want to go back and play BioShock because, you know, it's another one of those hipster first-person shooters that's like so underground, man. And although the atmosphere in BioShock is a lot more striking, and man, that twist at the end of the game is still one of the greatest examples of interactive storytelling ever, the gameplay felt sluggish and even restrictive compared to Dishonored. As of today, I'm confused about which one I prefer. That is how good Dishonored is. Gameplay-wise, I highly recommend this game to fans of Arkham City, BioShock, and Half-Life. And I encourage Hitman players to give it a shot, bearing in mind that it's a lot more forgiving and a lot easier.
Okay, can I get another shot of vodka? Okay. Oh, okay, I'll just hand it to you straight. Where the fuck's my Hitman? Where's my Hitman gameplay? I didn't get my goddamn Hitman. I've been waiting since Blood Money, seriously, for another game like this. And they fucking advertised it like it. And what the fuck did I get? I got some kind of fucking Half-Life with a melee option. Like, it looks like Half-Life. You've got the fucking walker sticks or whatever the tall boys, ladder boys, whatever the fuck they call him. Fucking Hitman. Where's Hitman? Okay, that's too harsh. It's a good game. It's a good game. It feels good to shoot people. Personally, I don't like to shoot people. I sound like I do, but I don't, I assure you. In all honesty, I really like to fight for justice all the time because that's my name. And I don't like taking the bad option. In Mass Effect, I really have trouble picking the Renegade option. I can only pick the Paragon option because there's something wrong with me inside. McBosspants is right with it's got a sort of kinetic feel. It's got a very tactile feel. It's the camera, the sound, the vibration of a controller if you're using one. Personally, I use a mouse, but it still feels really good when you kill somebody. What's great is it allows you a lot of difficulty options. The problem is the amount of times it allows you to save. You can save whenever you want. If you're playing on the PC version, you just press F5 and it saves the game. 10 seconds before you kill someone, you save the game first, and then you kill him. And it's like you don't have that tension, that sort of like fear anymore that you had in like Hitman. You'd play Hitman, and I remember Hitman Professional Mode would have something like you're stuck with 7 saves throughout the entire mission. It's like a handicap, but it's professional mode, you know? Like you were professional if you did it. With this game, you can save whenever the fuck you want. You play fucking very hard mode. It's not very hard because you can save whenever. That's our Dishonored. That's our Dishonored review.
Yeah, that's our Dishonored review.
Not really mine though.
Yeah, you played it.
No.
Yes, yes, you did.
Okay.
And you finished. Okay. What did you think of it, Justice? Did it get any new high scores from you?
For me, I think it got the new high score for best first-person shooter. Definitely best first-person
Yeah,
shooter.
I'd agree with that this year, definitely. The only other contender being Borderlands 2, I suppose.
As of this day, October 16th.
Yeah, but definitely Dishonored's gameplay is so much more satisfying. It's got a lot more
Tactile
Yeah.
experience.
I was about to say that exact word. And yeah, it's definitely better. I don't think we should be comparing Borderlands 2 and Dishonored.
That's right.
though, too
They're
much.
completely different genres, and if you start comparing it on the comments below, I will not respect
Yeah,
you as a
they're-
human being.
I think there are people out there that are like RPG, first person shooter. They're the same game. No, they're fucking completely different types of games.
Sorry, that's irrelevant.
That's
I'm doing
completely irrelevant.
Go continue.
Dishonored gets my new high score for best first person campaign since Portal 2. Lots and lots of personality, really, really immersive, just a really, really great experience.
I would agree with that.
Best stealth game of the year.
Yes, but what do you compare to that? To what is
What?
there?
Amy.
Amy?
Amy came out this year, right?
I completely forgot about that.
I love. Wouldn't it be amazing if there was like an award show, and it was like, and now to present the award for best stealth game, here are the nominees, and it's like Dishonored, Amy. You finished it, nice.
Yes.
Okay, it also gets my new high score for most refreshing game since Heavy Rain, because it's like there hasn't really been a good
Stealth simulation.
yeah
Stealth simulation.
for a long time,
Yeah,
and
probably.
it's fucking badass. Okay. Speaking of stealth games, what's your favorite stealth game? Are you a Hitman enthusiast? Do you like Thief? Do you like Metal Gear? Are you a Sam Fisher fan? Let us
know because we need more comments.
I keep
We need
forgetting.
more comments.
Okay,
And we
Let's
need
take it
some
again.
views.
let's take it again.
Fine.
So, what's your favorite stealth game? Are you a Hitman enthusiast? Do you like Thief? Do you like Metal Gear? Are you a Sam Fisher fan? Let the world know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel in the corner over there. You'll notice a lightsaber at the bottom of the screen. Make sure it stays green. Do not turn over to the dark side. I'm McBosspants,
My name is Justice.
and we'll see you next time on New High Score.
Hey!